What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 15 different altcoins in this video today. It is the 17th of September. We are 3 hours and 20 minutes into the new day right now. It's very, very early into the new day for crypto. We're going to go over 15 coins. I won't say the list verbally. The list of these coins, if you're interested to know, is in the description below this video, at least below the viewing screen. And yeah, I'll give shout-outs along the way. The very first coin that we're going over is KAMABLA coin, requested by KAMABLA coin. I couldn't find this one at first, man, and I'm sorry it took so long. I know you've been requesting it for a little while, but I thought it was just a joke. I thought you were trolling me, but I had dyslexia 4 or 5 times that I looked for it, and I finally found it. So I figured, you know, I put you at the top of the list today, and normally in the requests I do the Discord requests first and then I go through the YouTube comments, but today you're the first one because I feel like I owe it to you. But unfortunately the chart does not look too well. I know that you're excited about it. I know especially like whenever it came out you were excited about it. I don't know if you're someone just trying to promote the project or not. If it is a project, right, obviously it's a meme coin. To me it looks dead. It looks like most meme coins, right? It starts off, has its pump, and then it just fizzles out forever, right? And that's probably the essence of this thing. I mean, maybe between now and the election, this thing could go up another little bit. It's possible, but with the lack of volume, with how disgusting your 4-hour RSI looks, it's so new to say this thing could do anything. It's hard to really accurately guess as to where it's going to go. On the 4-hour MACD, I will say this looks very bad as well. Being held below your 50 like this, residing below your 50 like this, basically you're over half your life, is not a good look in itself. The fact that you're not getting oversold is nice, I will say that, but you're not seeing any life above the 50. The fact that you can't get above the 0 line here with your oscillators also looks very bad, right? You had your time and time again, and it looks like you're about to bleed down. Like, it does look like you have probably a lot lower to go. I would expect that KAMABLA, I thought it was KAMABLA. That's why I couldn't find it. It probably goes down a lot, honestly. You're at 3 zeros 5414. I would expect that you stand a solid chance of going down to 3 zeros 186, if not there, somewhere between there and like 3 zeros 222. That's my genuine best guess. So down is my thoughts for this thing over the coming days, weeks, who knows how long it takes, right? It's probably not going to be months that it takes to get down there, but if it has a recovery, will it see, you know, if it goes all the way down like I'm thinking it does, would it recover and see new highs? I don't know. You know, we'll go from there. But first and foremost, it's going down. Will it bounce from here? Will it have a sustained bounce, or will it continue to drop afterwards? You know, those are things we'd have to talk about looking at it down here, seeing if anything else is going on. So we're going to move on from there. XRP is the next one. We're doing this one for Ronnie. Ronnie, we got you here on XRP, looking like it wants to break out, right? And I've addressed this a couple times. The last few times that I've talked about XRP is that if you see this kind of streak of highs, right? You've got a high here, high there, right? All those highs. This time you came up and you basically rejected out of it. This time you consolidated, sure, but you had like 2 wicks. You consolidated on a closing basis, but you had 2 wicks, and that basically like sent you down, right? You can see that 1 wick here up in this area and then down. Now you're up in this area again. Granted, the wicks aren't as high, but you haven't gone down yet, right? Like this is a pretty large amount of time. I say that actually looking at this, you have gone down. You've had a pretty intense move down, but it was a higher low, looking like a lot of the market right now actually with these like symmetrical lows outside of this central low that's lower. It's a little bit different, but all that to say, all I'm trying to get to is it looks to me like you moved up, you had volume coming in, you're consolidating around this area that might lead to a breakout of this zone that's been holding you in like underneath this line since November, if not even like, you know, you could throw this in there, but for a while you've been in this kind of sideways / moving down phase. I do believe you're going to break out and see higher prices soon. From a relative high to a relative low of this zone, should I include that low? Maybe I should take a different fib. It is respecting this fib a little bit, but maybe I should take this relative high to this relative low. Less respect in areas that you would expect to see respect. But the way it looks to me, if this were to be respected, it does look very bullish. You know, consolidating around the 618 like this is pretty bullish, I think. But I just don't know if I like that fib. I don't know how to draw this. Maybe I should just do the overall high to the overall low. Let's just see if that. I wouldn't expect it because it just seems like different moves. I mean, maybe it's all part of the same move, but we'll see how the algos are respecting it. It looks like that's what the algos are respecting, from a high to a low there, right at the 618. You couldn't ask for it any more perfect than that. Holding support at the 382. Okay, this does, again, this looks very bullish. It looks like you want to continue higher. The next zone that I would look for is 77 cents to 84.2 cents. That's my guess. You're at 58.4 cents now. Expect that over the coming weeks, certainly by the end of the year. Certainly by the end of the year. I think that you have a solid chance of reaching prices above $1.20 by the end of the year, if not sometime in Q1 next year. This is your ultimate target zone, probably, for the coming months, I would say. Coming weeks, coming months, right? Definitely looks good. Good job, XRP. And I'm going to keep this one in mind, actually, because relative to some of these coins, it could stand to be the winner. We'll see. Filecoin, sorry, Digibyte, got it pulled up here. Digibyte, DGB, was so full of hope, man, and I'm losing my hope on it, but it's still not terminal, right? I guess it's not terrible, but it needs to start showing some life, like now, like right now. Let's see. I mean, if it goes any lower, man, it's done. Like, it really, when I say terminal, I'm not just saying that. I mean, like, if it goes lower, it's dead. It's dead. Like, it's on the brink of life and death right now. It needs to hold this area. You cannot see a breakdown of this area. You need to see, and I'm going to pause that wherever that is, that damn Discord. There we go. Let's just see. I'll just mute it. Come on now. Mute tab. That way we don't have that going on. I've never opened it up like this before, but I think it's smoother, to just click between what coins we're going over. I guess you could look and see the coins right there. Boom. Kind of, if you want to see what coins we're going to do in order, right? Anyways, Digibyte, yeah, you don't want to see that, because if that happens, genuinely what that means is that this thing's dead. It's not doing anything. That was its all-time high forevermore. It will never see a high like that again, and it will probably only likely do lower lows and lower highs for the rest of its time if you break out from here. I'm not saying I expect that to happen. I'm just saying I hope I don't see it happen, because that'd be the death of an OG, like, reputable name there, man. I like what I'm seeing here with the higher lows and the lower lows in the price. That is bullish divergence. The way that you look in your price action, you really do need to hold it here. I don't like how you closed last week on a daily basis. I actually don't mind the RSI as much as as I thought I would. It's actually not that bad, but pretty neutral. Price action's pretty neutral, of course it is. I don't know if I mind this wick, right? If it just happened in one day, if it was throughout the whole week, like 3 days up and then 4 days down, that would be a little bit of a different story. But just like that, I actually don't mind that. That could be like a test of where some resistance is. I mean, I don't know. Like, who knows why these wicks happen? It could have been just somebody fat fingering it, but it might be a foretelling of what's to come. And then maybe you consolidate around here and then you break out. I don't know. And that would make sense. It's around this resistance zone up here. But I am calling for you to move up. I don't mind the daily RSI. I don't mind the weekly RSI. I don't like the 4 hour, but it's actually better than it is worse. Right, getting overbought, not even getting oversold, as long as you hold this area, right? But it's your life is in the balance right now, man. Like, you really need to start moving up now, right now. And I have to say, based on the 1 hour and the 4 hour and the daily, I think you will. So let's call for you to move up. Let's do that from the high to the low. I'm not counting that high. The next move, you're at about 0.00634 right now. Next move would be at 0.0072 to 0.0075. That's your next area. And then whenever you break through that, if you break through that, I mean, you might find resistance here and then move back down. You could even move back down to the 382. Either way, next attempt, you'd go up here, probably find support where you found resistance before, right? In this area, the 618 golden ratio area, and then you'd break out. So you'd be looking probably to break out and go higher, probably to like a cent or higher sometime in either October, as early as October, probably in the later half of October, or sometime in November, based off the way that I have it drawn. But I don't know if it'll work exactly like that, right? Timing is the hardest thing to get. But ultimately, yes, a cent and higher is on the brain if you can hold this area. If not, death. Literally death. Sorry to be dramatic, not sorry to be dramatic. Ronnie, we're also talking about Filecoin for you here. Filecoin from a all-time high, I think, or at least the prior cycle high, to the current bear cycle low. Consolidating all this time, accumulating all this time is more like it, right? With all this volume here, I really, actually, man, I really do like the way this looks. But I'm I'm in the camp of believing that Filecoin will not see new all-time highs, right? Because of its tokenomics. If we look at Filecoin here on It's at $2 billion here. Fully diluted market cap is 6.7 billion, right? It's not even halfway there, right? It's been diluting. We can look at it right here. Like this is how you know that more coins are being printed off than the price can sustain. I'll just show you right here. It's a really easy way to do it, right? And not sustain inevitably, just momentarily. Sometimes, and oftentimes this doesn't happen, but sometimes you can have it where coins are being pumped out and it's diminishing the price or holding back the price, but then inevitably the price overcomes that, the hype overcomes that, the popularity, the whatever, the opinion overcomes that, and the price does continue to rise. I don't know if that makes any sense. I mean all the words that I said. I just don't know if people are understanding my meaning when I say that. But let's just show it. This is what I'm trying to talk about. So if we look at the price, what I'm trying to say is that this chart, you would expect it to look the same as the market cap, but if more coins are being pumped into the circulating supply, the overall circulating supply, you would see the market cap chart look better than this chart, and that's exactly what we'll probably see, right? And look at that, right? The market cap chart is way better than the price action chart is, right? Totally different charts, and that's because it's more bullish here. You've actually got an uptrend. You've had an uptrend since this low here in December of 2022. You had a high, a higher high, and higher lows ever since. This is a higher low now, where the price action, to be completely fair, you actually do have higher lows in your price action as well. Oh, I guess this is lower lows here, and you have higher highs. To be fair, this is a lower low though, right? Where on the market cap it's a higher low. That's, I guess, where the main point would be driven home. Compared to this low, market cap's higher. Higher lows. Price action though has lower lows, if not a double bottom. That means coins are flooding the market. All that to circulate back to, or circle back to the market cap being $2 billion right now. Okay, we go to Filecoin right now, $2 billion. If we went back to all-time highs, that's a 68.4 increase, right? 64.x increase. Google calculator. There we go. 2 billion times, what was it? 64. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. 67.4. 68.4. That's what it would be. That times 68.4 would equal 136, basically 137 billion, right? Because you are a little bit past 2 billion, but 100, let's just say 136 billion, whatever, we can round it down. 136 billion. Your current maximum time frame, all-time high price right here, back in March of 2021, right? It's that same high back here that we were going over, right? Your market cap based on that over there was at its all-time high, was at $12.3 billion. Okay, $12.3 billion. To get back to this same all-time high, where back here you had so few coins in circulating supply that you had a $12.3 billion market cap. Now with your current supply, it will take a $136.8 billion market cap, if not more likely more, because more coins will probably pump out by that time anyways. $137+ billion market cap to achieve this same thing, right? The market cap will be crazy higher than it is now, right? Like this, returning to the previous all-time highs, it might be a 68x from here, right? But that would be an immense growth for your overall market cap, like from the previous. It would be nuts, guys. It'd be very nuts to see anything past this, to see anything get around this, but anything past it, especially on a monthly basis. If we look at Filecoin, what I can say, what I think is a good thing about it is that it has been through one full bear market, two full bear markets, right? Because the bear market started in January of 2018, December 2017, started there. It has been through one full bull market and two full bear markets. A coin like this, I believe, can achieve market caps above $100 billion, potentially even multiple hundreds of billions of dollars. But where I don't believe that it's going to see multiple hundreds of billions is if we're talking about it seeing multiple hundreds, well, then it would definitely be above its previous or its current all-time high, which would mean its minimum target would be at the 1272 if it were to see new all-time highs this cycle, and that would be a 242x, right? 242 times 2 would be 480. I could have just done that in my head. 484 billion. I don't think Filecoin deserves a 484 billion. I don't think it's. I mean, maybe it does. Who knows? There's a lot of volume coming in. Does it reflect that price action? I don't know. I'm having a hard time believing anything past all-time highs. Certainly, I wouldn't expect the 1414 or the 1618 to be on the table, even though those are targets that are there. All that to say, I expect Filecoin. Man, I should have made a separate video just for Filecoin. I expect Filecoin to be moving up through this cycle. I do. I think it can even see its prior all-time highs. I just don't think it'll see new all-time highs. I don't think so. And most likely, I would think that it stops between $88 and $141, somewhere in the 786, 886 zone by the end of the cycle. A lower high, double top at best. At worst, you might stop right at your 61869 zone. But something between a 25 to a 40x, at a bare minimum like a 12x, I think Filecoin has that in the bag. Anything past that, I'd be surprised. I'd be very surprised, right? And if it were to see new all-time highs this cycle, what I would say is it's going to be a slightly higher high, still a double top look. I don't think it would be anything crazy. So, where I'm like slightly wrong that it didn't see new all-time highs. But anyways, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's do the short-term stuff, which is probably what you wanted to see. Very neutral daily RSI, very neutral price action. Of course it is. You don't want to give up this low. If you give up this low, that's very bad. A lot of coins that look like this right now, a lot of cryptos that look like this, they have this little inverted triangle. If that low is taken away, that would suggest that this low would be taken away and that we would be, not done with this consolidation phase that we've all been in, right? And that would actually be pretty bad for Filecoin, because then you'd be running the risk of breaking out of this to the downside. You want this accumulation phase to break out to the upside. So with that in mind, looking at the weekly RSI, I don't hate it. It's not common to find support here, but you did it before, and it worked out pretty damn well, right? You did it before, and it worked out pretty well. You went all the way up to $11, $12, $13 from here, from the current prices that you're at now. So maybe you do find support here. You're at the base of this range. I would expect you to find support here. You're getting higher lows, volumes increasing like throughout the range. I mean, I don't know. Good things and bad things about that, I suppose, but daily RSI is too neutral to really give us a headway. I'm going to say I think you do hold support here. I think from a relative low to high, we might get more of a picture. Yes, right at the 618 there. You could go a little bit lower. I don't think you go below $3.21, but I think that very well could have been your low. If it's not, you'll probably receive that in the next day or two, I would think, sometime by the end of this week, and then look to move up. When you move up, when you are moving up Filecoin, I don't know why I'm giving Filecoin so much attention, but it's getting the special attention. High to low. When you do move up Filecoin, we're going to look for prices around $4 to $4.13, and then inevitably up to this prior range here where you found support, down here where you found resistance, down here, kind of like it matches up with the 61869 zone, like literally right there, right? You move this circle to the side, boom, it's right in that range, right? So 556, 664, that's your next level. When you break out of this, right? When you break out of this little consolidation phase down here, whatever you want to call this, and that's probably not the best way because it actually does have a trend line down here too. Maybe it's a channel, who knows, whatever it is. Could be a diamond, right? But whenever it breaks out to the upside, this is the zone that you're going to, okay? Something between, we don't even need fibs, we can just look at it, between about 534, 535 to about 665, something in there, and maybe even higher than that. Maybe let's just say like 670, 675, 680, I don't know. Something in there, right? Highs and lows of this previous range. That's when we break out, that's where we're going. So that's Filecoin. Beat that over the head. Beat it like a dead horse. I don't know. Whatever the expression is, man. That's like the one expression I mess up. I don't know why. Phantom, at the request of Flower Child, you want me to go over all-time highs for this one. I found the one that had the most historical data that was relevant to finding all-time highs. What I like about a chart like this is that I can actually almost determine that, right, where the new all-time highs will be. Again, assuming that we don't have the same kind of circulating issue, right, with the dilution of the supply like Filecoin does. FTM, let's look at it here. FTM $1.4 billion right now. Circulating supply is this. Fully diluted value is Okay, yeah, there we go, cool. So it basically is fully, almost fully diluted. That's nice to see, right? You're gonna get, if we go max log here, you can see the price chart looks like that. The market cap chart looks basically the same, and of course it would, because you're not getting that extreme dilution, right, to hold back the price from growing. So that's nice. 1.4 billion right now. That's good to know. Maybe let's say 1.45 billion. Let's say that 1.45 billion going for the all-time highs from a all-time high to the cycle low that we have, right? Basing it off of this here, the primary targets would be between $8 and $23. Nice round numbers there. There we go. About a 15x from here to a, let's say a 45x, right? 15 to 45x. 15 to 45x, right? It's $1.45 billion market cap times a 15x, right? Is that was the minimum, I think. I'm just gonna make sure. Minimum. Yeah, about a 15x, okay. And then prior to that, it was a 45x, okay. 15x, 1.45 times 15, so that'd be a 21 point, let's just say a $22 billion market cap. 1.45 times 45, between 21 to 65. So yeah, I could see that happening. Absolutely, I could, for Phantom. And being that it has been through one full bull cycle already and a full bear cycle, I think it could see higher than that too, higher targets than that. So primary targets, yes, are on the table between $8 to $23, absolutely, and that's anything from like a 15x to a 45x, or at least around there, right? 44x, something like that. But secondary targets at the 1886 to the 2618 could be on the table as well. So I think that's something to keep in mind. Anything between, let's actually see what that would be. So that would be a near 100x. That'd put you right around 100 billion. That could be the extent of it right there. That might be the most. And just because I'm saying this, I get all the time in the comments, right? People will be like, you really think the price is going to go there? And I have to shit on their dreams and be like, no, I don't think the price is going to go there. I'm saying I think it could go there, right? Whenever people go over, you circled $489, you think it's going to go to 489? No, it could. I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't put a bet on Phantom that it's not going to achieve prices at $490 at all this cycle. I wouldn't bet that, right? But I also wouldn't bet on it, right? I definitely wouldn't feel comfortable betting on it. I don't think it could. You never know. When a very dominant crypto that has over a $1 billion market cap could see insane growth. It happens almost every single cycle, right? You could see something crazy. Maybe not that crazy. Maybe not that crazy. That might be a bit too crazy, right? A 900x, yeah, maybe not that. So let's tone it down a little bit on the crazy. Probably 170 at the most. Yes, these are secondary targets. That's why I have it circled. But let's be real here. I think that'd give you like $1 trillion market cap. We're not going to do that probably in one cycle. So something like this, that would give you still like a 300 and something billion dollar market cap, which is still insane. So 170 might be the maximum that I would give it. Of my true expectations, what I would truly believe for the maximum, I would say $52 around here, probably around 50 to 55, and what I would genuinely expect out of the all-time high for Phantoms. That's my reasonable all-time high that I could believe is a possibility this cycle. This is my expected, not 74, sorry, 52, $50, $55. This is kind of my expected maximum, right? Even though I would accept this as a maximum, this is my expected maximum. That does not mean where I'm expecting it to go. That's my expected maximum. My expected price zone to go to, I would say, isn't even this full bubble here. The expected zone that I would go to is between the 1414 at $12 and the 1618 at $23. This is, if I had to bet money on this thing, if I had to choose what range I felt the most comfortable betting, it'd be between $12.35 and $23. That's personally where I would expect Phantom to top off this cycle, which would, in my most genuine opinion, give it a target anything from its current price around a 23x, 24x to potentially a 43x, something like that, right? And you could go slightly above it, you could go slightly below that range, you might not even hit it. $8 is a possible target for it to stop at, but I personally do believe the 1414 to 1618 range doesn't have to hit either of these lines. It could go right in between them, right? And it doesn't have to stop there. It could go higher, but again, this is my expected view. So that's that. Flower Child, I know that that's what you wanted me to do. I'll give some short-term analysis too. Daily RSI actually looks good compared to a lot of different cryptos. I like this inverse head and shoulders look, dude. It's beautiful with the volume. This is picture perfect, you guys. You want to see what an inverse head and shoulders looks like? This is it. This is it. 100% it is. It's almost literally perfect. Yes, this low is a little bit lower. This high here is a little bit lower than this high, so it's a slanted inverse head and shoulders, which is pretty damn common, especially in crypto. But man, the volume, just everything about it looks so healthy, right? It's not like it's got this shoulder line like this and then it's got a huge head and then a shoulder line like this, and people are like, is that an inverse head and shoulders? No, it might be a cup and handle, or it might just be like a weird chart, and the volume's not out of whack. This is perfect. So I would expect, especially what you're doing right now, you kind of have like a cup and handle inside of your inverse head and shoulders. It's like two bullish patterns in one. I do think you're going to get, and it looks like you've already broken out of this cup and handle, truthfully. If this is an inverse head and shoulders and the measure move were to be respected, you would take this from the neckline breakout. That puts you at about $1.07. You're at about 52 cents right now. $1.07. Keep that in mind. From a high to a low here, does it line up with anything? $1.03 at your 886, and that's your measure move, right? $1.07. You don't have to hit it. You could stop here, right? You could break through it and continue on through it, right? But going to your 886, finding resistance there, it's kind of an area that you've seemed to find resistance before at, right? And you might go a little bit above it again to an area that you found resistance before, but that makes sense. So that means, like, overall with this move, when it comes time to breaking out, you're probably going to waste no time at all. I would think by the end of this month, if not sometime in October, you're going to be above 92 cents but below $1.20, right? So moving up, looking good, Phantom. Looking good, relatively speaking, especially for a top coin, right? This thing's, what is it? Number 56, top 100 coin, man. Pretty good for a top 20. Stronghold, you want me to do the same thing, and this one is going to be a little bit trickier because we don't have prior all-time highs. So I've done this before. I've done this with a lot of different coins, and I'm just going to cut the BS short, right? I'm not going to try to guess the all-time high for this. I can give you my best kind of guess based on the numbers, but Flower Child, I can't using TA actually project, and I can try, but it's the faith that I would have in the outcome is not high at all. I don't know what the fully diluted valuation would be. We don't have a total supply reading on this, right? They probably don't have the tokenomics available, right? A whole lot of things could happen that could be good or more likely probably bad with a coin like this. Being that it's only available on Gate.io and MEXC does not give me confidence in it, but it could be a good thing. There's plenty of projects that start off on shaky exchanges that do really well, and this could be one of them. But it's at a $25 million market cap, okay? $25 million market cap. With a market cap like that, in a cycle, you could see, like, from this current price, you could see a 100x, you could see a 1000x. A 100x would put you at a $2.5 billion market cap. A 1000x would put you at a $25 billion market cap. That's completely possible. As crazy as it sounds, it's completely possible. Yes, with the remaining time we have left. But what it would take is this thing would have to get listed on more than just Gate.io and MEXC. It would have to see popularity and a lot of hype around it. There'd have to be this going narrative or drive for Stronghold. It would have to become such a popular coin that everybody's talking about it, right? And maybe at some points people are, and that's whenever this thing pumped up in the first place. But it's a very low coin. There are coins in this position, in this number 889, between 500 and between 1500 spot, that reach the top 100, right? There are coins that do that reach the top 50 in one cycle. They do that. Is this the coin? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, right? I'm not trying to shit on your dreams, but I'm also not trying to, like, pump hope. Yes, a 100x to a 1000x is possible. I don't know if it's going to happen. All right, I don't even know if a 100x is going to happen, right? This thing could also only do a 20x, so it's not fair for me to guess where it would go. But based on that, right, based on that range, I suppose, with a 100x in mind, that would be about a 47-cent price target, right? About 47 cents. And then if it was a 1000x, which I'm pretty sure that's what that would be, right? Like right around there. Oh, obvious. So if it's 47 cents, it'd be $4.70, right? That's, yeah. So between 47 cents and 4.70, that could be where this thing goes. It's just as likely that it could stop at 2.6 cents or 5 cents. 47 cents isn't even a fib target here. 32.7 cents, 82 cents. Those are deeper extensions. You might see that, right? But it's really hard to guess the all-time highs for this thing. What I can say is I like the monthly bounce off the 50 there. That is a nice look in itself. If we look at the weekly RSI isn't the strongest, but it is holding above the oversold area. It did that before, and it was a good thing, so maybe this will be a good thing as well. I like the price action. I like how this move came up. You're consolidating, right? You moved up rather sporadically and very kind of calculated and methodical on your way down. That's normally good for continuation, right? So I would expect that you do continue upwards. Just how high are you going to go? I don't know, but what I can tell you your primary targets is between 2.6 cents to 5 cents. Secondary targets between 8.3 cents to 32.7 cents. And I genuinely believe you could see these prices, right? And you could even see higher than those prices, but maybe these are your all-time highs, end of cycle. Maybe this is your end of year price targets. Like I don't know what the potential is for this thing, right? If it does something, if it does a mimicked move like it did before, right? Or like, not like it did before, but like is common in charts where you have this like kind of ABC move like this, a 1, 2, 3. I mean, you could move all the way up to 10 cents by November, you know, if you start moving now, and then who knows if you continue on after that. But how high you go is not up for me to say. Again, here are your targets. I've said them verbally. There they are, right? So probably what I would look forward to first would be something between here, potentially here, given the idea of the mimicked move. So that's stronghold. AXL is the next one for Flower Child as well. This one, again, I don't feel comfortable giving a all-time high prediction, right? Same kind of thing as the last one. It doesn't have enough historical data. So the best that I can do is AXL, Axelar. It's at $376 million. Fully diluted valuation is a pretty heavy way away, and it's infinite max supply. So, you know, that's not bad. A lot of people look at this kind of stuff and they think, oh, it's an infinite supply, it's inflationary. That means it's going to be worthless one day. It's like maybe it is, but I mean, you know, the dollar has been around for over 100 years now, right? And going on two, or has it been around longer than that? Like the United States dollar. How long has it been actually? No, maybe it's 200 going on 3. Maybe I'm wrong actually. U.S. dollar, first U.S. dollar, yeah. Maybe it is 200 going on 3. 1862, yeah. Yep. No. Because then it'd be 19. So almost 200. Okay, there we go. I did the math wrong. I knew it was 1800s. I just didn't know. For some reason, I don't know. I did the math. Anyways, getting caught up in things. What I'm trying to say is just because it's inflationary doesn't mean that it's going to be worthless, right? It could still maintain value, right? Especially if it's inflationary at a rate that's lesser than the dollar. If the dollar is inflating at a higher rate than this, then that gives it, you know, the chance over time to actually gain value versus the dollar, which a lot of people don't consider whenever they see this stuff. But I will say that could imply, I don't know what the tokenomics are of this thing. Let's see if it'll tell me. Hey, we've actually got it. That's, no, it gives us a black screen. Come on, CoinGecko. Let's see here. There we go. There it is. I don't like the tokenomics at all. I don't. I really don't. I don't at all. But that's okay. That is totally fine, right? Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it can't be good. There's plenty of coins that are good and I don't like their tokenomics actually, right? So anyways, 376 million, 377 million, right? I don't know everything. 377 million from a low to a high. You could see a 10x. You could see a 100x. It's possible. I don't think you're going to see much past a 100x. I think that would be kind of crazy for you, just being that this is your first cycle, right? But you know, 100x would take you to about $48. 10x would take you to about $4.80. So I do think that anything and everything in between there is possible. That's a very big range. I know it's not fair, but this is the data I have, and it's not fair either, right? Minimum target here, boom, about a 10x. So we've got that at least. The maximum target being at a $48, what I was saying, right? Maybe it could go higher. Maybe it could go to $67. I don't know. Maybe it only goes to $34, and maybe it doesn't do anything like that. Maybe it only stops at like $9, $20, $15, $19. Hard to say, but upside, sure. I believe it has more more in it. Moving on to the next one. Actually, first, let's do some short-term analysis. Looking at the daily RSI, I would think you want to move down some more. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, you might not move down more. That might have been it. Or if you do move down more, very, very little. I'm starting to think that you might take that low out, and that would be bad. That would be bad, but you might not. You actually might not. That might be your low right there. If not, you're very close to it, and you might start moving up here soon. So good. You might start moving up here soon. Looking good. PEI, PEI, PEIPEI, PP, I don't know. Mug Music, we're doing this one for you. From a low point here to a high point there, we are holding at the 618, flirting with this area for a long time. If you are to move lower, however many zeros that is, 727 to however many zeros that is, 568. 727, 568, whatever that is, that'd be the low that I would think you'd go to if you break this low. If not, then you might just hold this range. You actually might move up. It's hard to say. Looking at the daily RSI, it does look somewhat productive right now. I don't hate it. I don't mind it at all. Actually, it kind of looks like you do want to turn around, so that's kind of good. Let's look at the 4-hour. Very neutral, too hard to say. Showing strength and showing weakness at the same time. I like that you dipped into your overbought zone and you're not even getting oversold. That's nice. But you really need to hold this area. Like if you start going lower, like if today you go a little bit lower like that, it's over. Or it's not over, but you could go a lot lower. Like you really could. So it's hard to say. I don't know what to say. Like what my genuine opinion would be of this coin. I would just say if you're moving down, that's your target. However many zeros, 727 to however many zeros, 586. If not, it'd be up to around here, this previous high, and then eventually beyond. So hard to say. Just if you go above this green line here at however many zeros that is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, I think, 135. Then you're probably going to go to 6 zeros, 174. Okay, if you break above there, and probably beyond. Probably a break above this line would indicate a move that takes you higher than that high. That's what I would say. However, a break below here would indicate a move down to here, and if that happens, well then, we can talk about if you find resistance here, then you might go lower or other things when that happens. But for now, that's my prediction. So Cook Soul at the request of Marcos Izquierdo. Talking about Cook here, I don't know what it's let him cook or something like that, right? Looking at the volume on the daily, decent volume, not a lot recently. I don't like the daily RSI the most right now. I don't like it actually at all. I think you might be selling off soon. I think you might be. From a high to a low, let's just see where you go. Yeah, man, I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think this is the beginning of something that's going to take you lower, personally. Let him cook. He's going to be reducing his sauciness, man. I don't know. Let's look at this in another light, maybe. Is that the low? We'll take this. I'll take this low to this high. I think you're going lower, man. I do. I think you are. I really do think you are. Prove me wrong, and do not close any day below 0.002388. Don't do it. If you do, then I'm right. Well, or not right, but my odds went up a lot, right? If you close below this line, likely you are going at least here, if not even lower than that, right? But if I'm wrong and you literally bounce off of this area and then you close above 0.00334 or 39, basically 0.004, if you can close above that red line there, then I'm wrong, right? You get above this high essentially, then I'm wrong. If you find support here and then you don't even get above this high and then you go down, clearly I'm right. So just because you find support here, just because you're green today does not mean I'm wrong. But if then statements, right, close above here, good. Close below here, which I think you're going to do, lower. And probably down to 0.001 or below that. That's where you would go, right? That's Cook Soul for Marcos Izquierdo. DMT is the next one for the same guy. Terrible looking daily RSI, definitely going lower. I have no doubts about that in my mind. I say that and then I look at the weekly. I'm like, maybe. It's at previous areas of resistance. This does look like a falling wedge, right? It looks like a very bullish pattern, and you look like you're near the end of it. I don't know. And maybe it's not a falling wedge. Maybe it's more of a bearish channel downwards. Could be that as well. Hard to know, right, where to draw the lines from. But you are finding support here, keeping it simple, which as of now at least. I wouldn't say you're finding support, but you're looking to. You're at least grinding it out there. From a low point here to a high point there, yeah, I would think you go a little bit lower, just a little bit at least, down to 25.50, if not 20. Your RSI stands to allow that too. 25 to 20 bucks probably is where you're going to go. Daily RSI sucks, so yeah, I have no problem. The daily gives me a lot of confidence you're going to go down. I think you're moving down lower. So that's that. 25 to 20 bucks, if not lower. Yeah, it would make sense. It would make sense if you even went down to like 17 bucks, 17, 18 bucks. But 25 to 20 is the official call for now. Okay, so that's DMT, and then up later maybe, I don't know. It's got some relative volume in there. Harambe is the next one for the same guy, Mr. Marcos, looking pretty damn shabby on your daily RSI. Not the best, but very neutral, you know, as your price action is. The fact that you're rejecting your 50 areas here and you're not getting oversold is kind of a good thing, I suppose, right? Just like it was over here, rejecting the 50, not getting oversold, and then you actually moved up. You didn't move up too much. It didn't bear any I don't know what word to use, but it didn't bear any fruits, but like specifically like good fruits. I don't know. What am I thinking of here? What's the word? Fruitful fruits? I don't know, man. Yeah, I think you're going down. Oh, I do. You look very productive, but to the downside in your fibs, especially as of late. Yeah, I think this Harambe's dead, guys. As in life, as in crypto, this coin is dead. Because you break this, it's basically like your whole life is just consolidation. You break this phase to the downside here, you're holding on. You're really putting in a fight, but I think you're going to break out to the downside. I would not want to put my money in this coin, right? We've gone over some bad coins tonight. I think this one is the worst, probably, right? DigiByte I have hope for. This one I don't. I think it's good, dude. I don't like it. Lower. How much? I don't know how much lower. What, you want me to tell you how low it's going to go? Let's try and figure it out. From a low point to a high point here. Oh yeah, definitely. No matter what fibs I draw, it just looks so bad. Primary target right now would be around 0.9279 cents, so just below a penny. But genuinely, I think this thing's dead. I mean, what's the point of even giving it down targets? Here's your down targets, but the reality is your down target is nothing, man. It's nothing. If I was holding this coin, I'd get the hell out right now, right? If I bought this coin within the last couple of weeks, bright news, it's basically where it's been the last couple of weeks. You can get out still and save your ass. And I would not look back, man. If I'm wrong and it goes up, cool, you know, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It really doesn't. I don't know. I don't like it at all. To me, it looks bad, man. All right, ICP, next one. For Rizzo Surfing. Rizzo, I've talked about this one for you before, my friend. You say I've never talked about it, but maybe you just don't watch these videos. I don't know. From a relative low to a relative high, or maybe I haven't talked about it for you. I've talked about it for other people, but I know I've talked about ICP plenty of times. But you said ICP. Was that a typo, or is that actually a crypto? No, it must have been a typo, because you talk about ICP. So anyways, low to high for Rizzo Surfing. Finding support at the 618, nice. Getting rejected at the 382 area, coming back, finding support here is really nice. I do believe that this means you're going to go up. I do believe you'll hold this area and continue to move up. Looking at it without the fibs, this area here, this support area comes in right at this previous resistance area here, like literally twins, and previous resistance area back here as well. So that looks nice. Holding the 123, this green line, this moving average here, holding that as support as well. After breaking above it, you consolidated above it for weeks, and then you broke above it. Nice. Showing significance on it here. Nice. Getting a higher low in your weekly RSI, and you've been trending in a higher low on your weekly RSI for a while now. Nice. Rejecting your 50 and not getting oversold. You know what I'm going to say, man. I don't have to say it. From a relative high to a relative low, I would expect all in all, you're on your way to prices that are around 30 bucks to 46 bucks. Now, ICP, what I don't like about it is I would compare it a lot to Filecoin. I would compare it a lot to Filecoin. Very popular crypto. Probably a good crypto, very likely sees gains and very likely sees new all-time highs in its market cap, if not already. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math right now. It might have already, or maybe it's on its way to doing that. But I don't believe that it'll see new all-time highs, and I certainly don't believe that it'll even get above this high point here. I don't think ICP will break $100. I'm not even sure it will break $80, $85 this cycle. So something as far as all-time highs go, which I don't think that's what you're asking for, but as far as all-time highs go, The extent of it that I would see is probably like up in this area, around like below $90, $80 to $90, 1886, 200 area, something like that probably. But for your more momentary moves where I would expect you to go, and I do expect you to move up, look for prices around $12.80 to $14.10, somewhere in that area. That's ICP. Moving on to render for Mr. Nato Bell. Nato, we're doing this one for you, my friend. Fortunato. Let's see. From a high to a low. I like it. I like where this is right now. This is a nice, as long as you hold this area, and being that most of the market is pretty damn bullish, and Render is actually one of the few coins that's seen new all-time highs already from its prior cycle. I'm bullish on this zone. I'm bullish on the RSI. You've bounced in this area before. You look like you're going to do it now. That's a nice little doji candle on the bottom there. Moving up above your 100 level and not seeing this area isn't as common as it is to like actually touch it, but doing this and then consolidating down here, generally speaking, when you move up, you hit this area, right, somewhere in this zone, and then you move down and you hold this area. Being that, and that's generally, sometimes you hit this area and you move all the way down here sometimes, but just generally speaking, you hit this area, then you hold support in this area. The fact that you didn't hit this area and you pulled back before you actually hit the minimum expected target makes sense that you wouldn't hold the 886 100 area. You went a little bit lower, of course you did. So, and you didn't even respect the 786 fully. But this nonetheless looks very constructive. I would say it looks very constructive, finding support at a previous area where you consolidated for resistance, right? Certainly, I think this means you're going to go up higher, probably to $22.70, if not $75.50. You're at $4.68 now, so that's nice. What's that in gains terms? From a relative price point, you know, something of like near a 5x at a minimum to a 15x, 16x, right? Something like that. And that could be by the end of the year. That really could be by the end of the year, guys. It could have a lot higher targets than that by the end of the cycle. What is Render's market cap? It's decent, 1.8, right? So I wouldn't think it sees. I wouldn't think Render sees. I mean, I guess it could. I wouldn't think it sees more than a 50x from its current. Maybe more than a 55x. Which would. So 191 to 285, that'd be like the maximum expected area that I would think it could go to. Okay. Yeah, 191 to 285. I really like the potential for $75 and more. I really like this zone as the all-time high area. Momentary high where you're going to next by the end of the year, if not beginning of next year, you know, between here, right, in this zone. But what's that? Decent gains, man. Decent potential gains. I don't know. Nothing like crazy like encrypt. Like, I mean, it's still pretty crazy. A 40 something x, 60x is still pretty crazy, but nothing like 100x or multi 100x or anything like that. Next coin is GFI. Wait, I'm sorry. Did I told you were going to hold this area? Yes. Daily RSI. I'm not that big of a fan of. Oh, it's not that bad actually. Not that bad. I would like you to hold support right here and move up. That's what I would like you to do. And I think you will. Call it a hunch. Yeah, you got bullish divergence going on your 1 hour. Bullish divergence. I think you hold it right here, man. I think you do. Higher low, in this trend of higher lows, you're going to move up. Gave you your targets. All right, cool. Render, that's that. Let's move on to the next one. GFI at the same requester's request. Mr. Nato Bell here. I might have to sneeze, guys. Hold up. No sneezing. I did not sneeze. Okay, so Goldfinch, GFI, from a relative low, all-time low, to a relative high. Holding the 382, beautiful, very nice kind of maneuvering, especially finding support on the 382, rejecting the 236, and then still not closing below the 382. I love this. This is a very bullish kind of phase of consolidation right now, you guys. Higher lows, it looks good. Volume's dying off, ready to break out, probably go higher. You generally see holding and consolidating between this zone on strong moves, right? Which I'd say that's a strong move overall. So next target area, let's just kind of compare, right? Relative high here to the relative low. You went up to your 1618, tipped it, literally tipped it, beautiful. 1618 did that from the relative high to the relative low here. Went up to your 2886, tipping that. 1618, finding support on that, and resistance here, showing significance on that again. 2618 and 1618. You like your golden extensions. Look at this. You even hit your 618 down here, your golden ratio. 618, 1618, 2618, all respected within the same fib. Beautiful, right? So you do like your 618, your golden ratio. So I think we can expect to find resistance along the way, right? In the 61869 zone at 360 to 390, let's just call it 360 to $4, right? You're at 216 right now. 360 to $4 is probably where you're going to go immediately. Expect to find resistance there, okay? If you don't, cool, whatever, fine. But 1618 area up to like 1478, that's likely your next target zone. I would think you stop there. Yes, you saw deeper extensions based off of this high to low, but from here, from this high to low, you stopped right at your 1618, right? That's not what I thought I was drawing. I keep doing that. I don't know why, right? But you stopped right there. You did continue afterwards, but you stopped right there. And actually, you went, what? Look at that. Look, I love that, man. You went all the way up to your 2618 on this one, from this high to low here. After stopping at your 1618, it's beautiful. Finding support still on your 1618, beautiful, beautiful. And then from this relative high to this relative low, you went all the way up to your, oh, it was a 2886. I thought it was the 2618. You closed at the 2618, but you actually went up to your 2886. Okay, cool. But still, pretty cool. I think it's cool. I don't know, stuff like that. I know I'm a nerd with this stuff. Whenever I literally get like excited and happy whenever I see stuff like that. It's like, come on, get a life. No, this is my life, man. I love it. Oh my goodness. I bet on the Atlanta Falcons. I bet on the money line, you guys, for them to beat the Eagles. They won by 1 point. I didn't even watch the game. Well, that's nice, because I also bet on them to win to win the first half, and they didn't, so that at least covers my losses. I didn't really win too much money. Probably won a little bit of money. Anyways, yes, I gamble on sports. It's fun, but I don't gamble a lot, you guys. I really don't. Just for fun. The real money, the real gambling goes into crypto and stocks, you guys. Back to the task at hand here. Up higher, nonetheless, is what I believe this thing's going to do. I gave you your more intermediary targets, right? Probably around 360 to $4, something like that. But then $9 to 1480 is what you have to look forward to. And certainly, I believe you can go higher than that. Yeah, I think you're moving up. I think so. Just biding your time. You're going to move up though. You're very boring, very neutral on your targets right now, or on your indicators. So it's not giving us a lot, but you're at the lower end of this range. You're probably going to move up. You're at the higher end. You might move down until you don't, until you break out. And maybe that's on this next attempt here. I don't know, but hopefully you know where you're going, right? Taraxa is the next one. Terra for Mr. Julio Pina. We're doing this one for you, my friend. Nice week last week. Good job. Not a lot of volume, not impressive volume, about average, right? I based that volume average on a 45 period moving average, right? So, or not moving average. It is a moving average, but it's in the form of a histogram, not in the form of a line. So, right, like you could imagine that it is a line, just like this green line's a line. You could imagine it like that, but it's the top of the histogram. That's the line, right? If I made a line instead of a histogram, it would look like that, right? It would like literally look like that. But anyways, over a 45 weekly period, you hit you didn't even actually get above average, did you? You're like literally, okay, just barely above average, just barely above that histogram there, right? You can see it. Oh, so slightly below there, right? On a pretty significant move. So that's not the most encouraging thing, but it's fine. You know, we'll take it. We'll take it for what it is. I would have liked to see more volume than that, but it's fine. It's not the most available exchange. It's not crypto. It's not available on all exchanges. From relative high to relative low, man, you beat that up bad. Okay. And obviously, yeah, you should have known because you broke below your 618 here. Couldn't get above your 100. Yeah, you started to become deconstructive real quick. I'm actually surprised you didn't go lower based off of that, but that's good that you didn't. From a relative low here to a high, I mean, I'm going to be real. The way it looks, actually, it kind of looks like it does want to go lower. Down to about 0.0025 to 0.002. So hard to say in conditions like this with the crypto market, but you might want to go lower. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of this move, man. I don't know. Unless it continues, you need to continue. That's the thing. Oh, there we go. This is the end of the week. We're at the beginning of the new week right now, right? So you need to continue. That's what you need to do. You can consolidate around here. That's fine. But, man, if you get, I don't know. Let's see. How low? What's the grace here? don't go below 0.0035. I take it back. Don't go below 0.0036. Don't do that. Okay. If you do, then I'm right in assuming you go lower. If I'm wrong in assuming, and I do think you're going to go lower. I personally do think you're going to go lower. I think there's a chance I might be wrong on that, but I think you're going to go to 0.0024 to 0.001. Sorry, I think those are the wrong targets. 0.0025 to 0.0019, somewhere in there. But if I'm wrong on that, close above 0.00 on any given week, any given multi-day period, like 2 days in a row, 0.005884. If you close above that, then it's on to the upside, right? It's just a weird place to find a low, in my opinion, and I'm not impressed by your weekly RSI. You've got hidden bearish divergence there. I'm not impressed by your daily RSI. Yes, you're showing strength here, but you showed all that strength, and what'd you get? Like, it's not even, you can't even get above your 123 moving average, right? You got up above there last time, and you weren't even overbought. You're way overbought now. Like, overbought compared to when you were last in your overbought zone. It's still a lower high. It's not a good look. Volume's decreasing, and yes, it's increasing relatively speaking, but it's not the best looking. It's average on the weekly. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with this move. I'm about as impressed with this move. At first I was a little bit. I'm not going to lie. At first I just wasn't impressed with the volume, but I'm about as impressed with this move as this move, as this move, as this move, right? I think it's going lower. And I said it in the beginning. I was like, I'm surprised you haven't gone lower. And I think I was right in that sentence, in that statement of, or in that state of thought, is that I was surprised you haven't gone lower. Probably because you just haven't had enough time to go lower yet. A little bit lower, probably into October, and then we move up. Probably, hopefully, I think so. Why do I like that area down there at the 618? Well, 61869. If you put a line right there, right? Because I put a circle right there, basically perfectly encompassing that zone. We can do it like right there, whatever, and get rid of the fibs. If I put the base of this crosshair right here, right, you can see that it goes all the way over to this resistance point, or over here, right, previous areas of resistance, the top of that circle, right there. It's at the top, like this wick here, and this area of resistance here. So the 61869 is literally right in this zone of prior resistance on the charts, finding support there. It's also your golden ratio zone off of this fib. It makes perfect sense that you would not only go there, but you would find support there and then move up, but not before. That's my thoughts. If I'm wrong, again, I gave you the targets to prove me wrong. Just close a week, any given week above here, or 2 days in a row above there. That should do. 3 days would be nice, but whatever. Get above there and then I'm wrong. But if not, I'm right. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. The winner of this video, I kind of like Render, man. That was the chart that gave me the most like assuredness. I like XRP too. And I would also say Phantom looked a bit interesting. Let's go over each of those. We'll start off with XRP, and then go to Phantom, and then go to Render. Okay. So XRP, you never know, man. And this target, it could happen like overnight, like in a very short amount of time. And it looks like it's going to break out anytime. Let's get the minimum targets there, 30% to 42%, potentially 100%, 170. I just want to get an idea. Okay, so there's that Phantom with this inverse head and shoulders. They're both in consolidation phases that are on the brink of breaking out, man, right? So we have pretty definable targets there. I do believe you're not going to stop here, but your minimum targets are higher than XRP's minimum targets. Your expected targets on the breakout zone, like the height of it, are lower, though. Something to take into consideration. Phantom might be the winner, you guys, for the short-term stuff. Overall, for the breakout move, and I think for the rest of the cycle, Phantom would probably take XRP too. But maybe for the rest of the year, XRP has more growth than Phantom does. But over the coming weeks, Phantom might have more, if that makes any sense. It's like more than less than more overall. But Render, I want to look at this one real quick, and just to be sure. Because I think Render's going to hold support right here, right? If I'm wrong, right, this one is the more sketchy one of the three, I would say, as far as holding support goes. Minimum targets are way higher. Oh, it's so hard, man. I'm going to give it to Render, though. I'm going to give it to Render. I will say Phantom, Flower Child, I know you want to go for another win there. They're always nice to have, but Flower Child, honorable second mention, Ronnie, XRP, honorable third mention, Flower Child with Phantom, XRP. So third for XRP, second for Phantom. First place goes to Render, Mr. Fortunato Bell. We're talking about this one for you, my friend. Render is the winner. The winner. That's my belief. I think it will grow out of these 15 coins. It will grow the most percentage-wise in the shortest amount of time. Now, that doesn't mean for the rest of the cycle. That just means, like, if I put my money in any of those 3 coins that I just mentioned, I would expect over the next month, Render produces the most gains. Over the next month. Over the whole cycle, out of those 3 coins, I could see Render doing it. It could outperform them. XRP could, Phantom could. That's not as easy to say, right? Any of those 3 coins could really dominate for the rest of the cycle. Any of those 3 coins could be like the winner of the cycle. You know what I mean? They have that potential. So, but they're more likely not going to be, right? It's more likely that none of these coins will be the winner, the winner, right? What do I mean by the winner? If you were around for last cycle, or if you know anything about last cycle, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu coin, right? Winners. Those were winners last cycle, right? It's obvious when they're winners, right? When everybody's talking about them, they do a Saturday Night Live episode about them. Winners, right? Anyways, I'm done talking, guys. This video has gone on long enough. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Have a great night. Bye-bye.